been so long. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Ellen and I am the creator behind Sew and Inspire. Thank you so much if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. It has been a while. I'm not going to go into too much detail now of where I've been, but long story short, I've been really unwell. I'm only now just starting to feel more myself again and get back into things, and when I was at my worst was when everyone was doing these videos, and I absolutely love watching these videos for inspiration, and I was really sad that I was going to miss out on doing my own. And then I was like, hang on a minute, does it really matter that I haven't filmed this at the end of the year, at the beginning of the new year? No. So I thought, why not still do mine now, even though we're closer to 2025 than 2023. This is going to be my everything I knit in 2023. This may seem like an obscene amount of knitting to some people, or maybe this isn't very much to some people, but to me it seems absolutely loads. I cannot believe how much I knit last year. So grab your knitting, grab a drink, and let's just get into it, because we have so many things to chat through. I don't think I brought my notebook. Good start. So I thought I'd start off with just going over a few stats from the year. So in total I knit 31 pieces. How crazy is that? I knit 7 sweaters, 5 cardigans, 2 hats, 2 pairs of socks, 5 tops, 3 shawls, 2 pairs of mittens, 4 accessories, and within all of them, only 7 of them were for me, 14 of them were gift knits, and 9 of them were test knits. Yeah. So I'm gonna just try and go in chronological order. That's just kind of how my brain works best. So as I said, 14 of them were gift knits, so there is going to be quite a few photos in this video, because obviously I don't have them anymore. But we started off the year strong with the gift knits. First of all, I knit the Edgar sweater by Calibri by Joanna, and I knit this in Drops Air. It was the first time I'd used Drops Air and I loved it a lot. It is so soft but airy at the same time because it's blown yarn, and I knit this for one of my mum's really good friends and she absolutely loved it. She wears it all the time, and I think as soon as I saw this design I just knew that this was for her. I love that it's just quite a simple sweater, but those twisted rib details really like give it a bit of interest, and sort of a bit of shape as well. Really enjoyed knitting this one. I can't say how well the yarn has held up. I imagine that it has peeled quite a lot because it's such a soft yarn, but it was a joy to knit with. The pattern was a joy to knit and the recipient absolutely loved it, so I don't think I could ask for anything more really. Number 2, we have the I Shawl Build My Fortress shawl. This I knit in Bird Street yarn, like their 4-ply sock. The colourway was Pebbles on a Beach. It's this beautiful kind of moody colourway, and it literally looks like pebbles on a beach. It just reminds me of that so much. This shawl, I would use techniques that I had never used before. Sorry, this feels like an absolute lifetime ago that I knit these things. I'm trying to like remember them. But yeah, it had like techniques that I'd never used before. It was really engaging knit, but it was really nice once you got in the rhythm of it a bit more, and I think the end result turned out absolutely beautiful. Next up, I do actually have to show you, and that is the Farnham sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. I knit this for my mum, and this was a test knit for Sophie, and this is probably the most worn piece of knitwear in our household. My mum wears this literally every day in the winter. She absolutely loves it. I knit this in Filcolana Pernilla, which is one of my favourite yarns. It's soft but in a wool way. It's a really, really lovely yarn, and it is a sport weight. So it works quite well for this pattern, in my opinion. It has a really lovely funnel neck and then twisted rib details. But I love that the twisted rib is like really short. I think it just all works so nicely. And then of course the beautiful shoulder short row detail is kind of what this sweater is known for. In terms of how the yarn has held up, you can probably see it has pilled, but not, I wouldn't, like, this has never been de-pilled. I don't have a de-piller. So for how much she wears this, I really don't think this is bad, but it has pilled a bit. I don't really have anything else to say about it. This is just a classic. I'm dying to knit one for myself, and my mum wears it all of the time. Number 4 on the list is a Sophie shawl. Are you even a knitter if you haven't knit the Sophie shawl or scarf at this point? This is knit in some yarn, random yarn that I got from Hobbycraft. It's super fun. I can't remember the base of it, but it's definitely got some acrylic in it, but it's just super fun. It kind of reminds me of hand spun yarn. Sophie shawl is a sort of half kite shape, and it has I-cord edges. I'm sure you all know this. I don't really need to tell you what the Sophie shawl looks like, but basically I was on the hunt for a pattern to use this yarn because I have 4 balls. I had no idea what to do with it, and I just thought Sophie shawl would be perfect because I can just knit up until I have used up 2 balls and then decrease with the other 2 balls, and that is what I did, and it turned out perfectly, and I got to use up as much of the yarn as possible. My mum really loves this. She wears it quite a lot in the winter as a scarf, and it's actually really soft and lovely. I wish I still had the label of this yarn, but yeah, it's just a classic, and I think I'd quite like one for myself in a neutral colour. So maybe this year that will happen. Next up, I cannot believe I knit this last year. This feels like I knit this ages ago, but apparently I did. And it is my Dornie sweater by Rebecca from the Cray Bear. I love this sweater. I love the colour and I love the design. It is a raglan all over cable sweater. It's the first time I'd ever done all over cables, and I really enjoyed knitting this one. The yarn I used was Serdar Harroworth, that might not be right, tweed, and held with Drops Kid Silk. And the Kid Silk has created this really lovely almost marl, and obviously given it a nice fluff. I think this was the first time I'd ever used mohair in a sweater. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, this, I honestly, to be honest, I haven't worn this very much, and I think it's mostly because of my yarn choice. I find Drops Kid Silk / most mohairs too itchy to wear, and obviously I can wear a t-shirt underneath, but the neck still gets me and then I get really irritated. So unfortunately this hasn't got the love it deserves, because it is gorgeous sweater. So I'm trying to think of a way around this so I can wear it more, but I don't know, maybe I'll get used to it if I wear it more, I'm not sure. And also the Sirdar tweed that I used isn't my favourite. It feels very dry is the best way I can describe it. Yeah, it's like slightly strange yarn, but it's made a really lovely garment and it does look lovely in these cables. Okay, number 6, we have a hat. This is actually the first hat I've ever knit. It's a super simple hat. It is I was using up my leftover Sirdar Solitaire, I think it's called. I loosely followed the Pearl Soho classic ribbed beanie, but I did my own decreases. I have notes for this on my project page of how I did them, but I just really like the look of these centre double decreases, so I did that at 4 points to decrease. I did a tubular cast on so it looks nice and neat on the brim. And should I put it on? I don't have anything against this hat. I do wish I'd made it a bit longer. Do I suit hats? Not really. I'm not sure about the colour either on my head. I don't know. It was a good stash busting project. Got that yarn out of stash and it is really nice and warm. I really do enjoy this yarn. It's got alpaca in it and I love anything with alpaca in it. I just find alpaca so soft. Number 7, we have some Fingerless Mittens. These were a free pattern which I found on Ravelry, and I was using up some, I think this is Rico Cashmere sock. It's a really lovely sock yarn, and it's just spray with these really nice pink and browny stripes, which is just right up my street. And if I'm honest, these are like a rip-off of the penny gloves by Bettina, because I tried to, just from like looking at the photos, add in the details of the penny gloves with the pearl ridges at like the cuff, the top and the top of the thumb. But I used the stitch counts from this free pattern. Honestly, I haven't ever worn these. Because I finished them just when it was like warming up, but I think they knit up really lovely, and I think they definitely will get a lot of use when it comes to winter again. Number 8, we have my Calm Down cardigan, which is by Lily Kate Makes. This was a test knit for Lily and I love this cardigan. I do have some issues with it, but overall I love it so very much. The yarn I used was Woolly Knit British Wool 4-ply held double, and it has created like such a dense, thick, lovely cardigan fabric. This is like a real, will be like in the family, stand the test of time yarn. I do find it a bit scratchy, I can't lie, but obviously with a cardigan it doesn't matter as much because you're always really going to be wearing something underneath it. But it is also, because the yarn is held up, this is so warm, like it has to be really cold for me to wear this. This was the first time I had ever done a double knit button band and I think it looks so nice. This cardigan has really lovely ribbed details. It's a saddle shoulder, which was also the first time I'd ever done that. And yeah, you can see it has ribbed details all around the arms and down the sides, down the sleeves. The best way I can describe it is like the proportions of this cardigan are just the perfect oversized cardigan. Like the cuff length, the sleeve width, the width of the body, just all is just so perfect for the perfect oversized cardigan. Sadly, I was playing a serious game of yarn chicken with this cardigan and I just wish I'd bit the bullet and bought more yarn basically, because I made it shorter, so it is more of a cropped cardigan. And I don't know if you can tell, but the button band is actually a different colour slightly, because I used a different but very similar yarn when doing the button band, held with the yarn which I did for the rest of the body. As I said, I still love it and I still wear it, but they're just little things that annoy me slightly that I know I could have done better. So, but yeah, overall I do actually really want to make another one of these in just such a soft yarn that I could just throw over everything, because I think I would wear that all of the time. Number 9, we have another sweater for my mum, and that is the Haze sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. This is a free pattern, and as soon as I saw it I just fell in love with it and I knew I had to knit it. The yarn that I used for this was Rico Merino Plus DK. I don't believe that this yarn is available anymore. I really wish it was, so I could knit myself something out of it. I believe it's a 50-50 merino and acrylic blend, but it is so soft and lovely. This was the first time I had ever done colour work, and I am so proud of it. Like, I think it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. This has pilled a lot, I will say, but I think that is just the nature of super soft yarns, but I still think it looks really lovely, and my mum wears it all the time in the winter too. Number 10, we have another classic, a Sophie scarf. Yes, I know, I'm quite a basic knitter. But I just had to. Everyone was knitting them and I felt left out. And I had this yarn in my stash, which was just, it was looking for a little project to use it up, you know. And this yarn is Sublime Cashmere Merino, I think it's called. But it is so lovely and soft. Obviously, it's got cashmere in it, but it's a really nice neutral colour, and to be honest, I probably would never wear this like this. You know how like those people wear them tied like this? Yeah, I would probably never ever wear it like that. I actually knit this for more of a comfort thing, more something I could tie on the edge of my bag and it would be like a nice sensory comfort thing to always have with me. Or I might actually, I would wear it, might consider might consider wearing it not like that but in my hair. I think that would be really cute. Again, just such a great stash busting project, because I just increased until I'd used half of what I had and then decreased and barely had any yarn left. Next up we have my mum's birthday present. This is vest number 8 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. My mum really wanted a all over cabled vest, and this was the best one I could find. Not ideal because it is not size inclusive. That is like the best one I could find from the vision that I was going for. This yarn, if you watched my previous everything I knit in 2022 video, you may recognise this yarn, because that was vest number whatever, the plain stockinette one. And then it didn't fit her very well, so I ripped that out and knit vest number 8, and my mum wears this all of the time. It's just so perfect for like spring and autumn when it's not quite cold enough to wear a cardigan, but you want an extra layer. I think this turned out beautifully, if I do say so myself. It has twisted rib details and I absolutely love this back increase detail too. The yarn I used was, I believe, 100% acrylic. It was Wendy, Harris DK. I don't love the yarn. It's like a bit sort of got these sort of bits of, who knows what they are. It kind of looks like hay, but it's not going to be hay if it's 100% acrylic, or it might have like 10% of woolen. I can't quite remember, but it's held up really well actually, and it feels like nice. So yeah, overall really enjoyed knitting this one, and it is definitely a staple in my mum's wardrobe. Number 12, we have the Corran cardigan, which is by Rebecca Clow, who is the Creator Bayer. This I knit as a gift for my mum's friend, who is actually in Australia. So this cardigan has gone all the way to Australia, which feels so strange. But yeah, I knit this in King Cole Linendale. Really enjoy using that yarn. I definitely use it again. And this knit up surprisingly quick. I thought this was going to take forever being all over lace, but it actually knit up really quick, because I think it was on 5.5mm needles I think I used. I'd never done a garment which was like all over lace like that before, so that was like a fun new technique to do. Number 13 is another gift, and that is the Rospico, is that how you say it? Tee by Alongavec Anna. I knit this in the Alongavec Anna 4-ply merino, which was really lovely to work with. I'd never used Alongavec Anna before, and I would absolutely dream of doing a sweater for myself in it one day. This was a fingering weight tee, which I had never done like a full fingering weight garment before. So I think a tee was quite a good introduction for me. But it has really nice, this beautiful lace detail on the bottom of it, which I think just makes the tee and just gives it a bit of interest and just looks absolutely beautiful. Number 14, we have my Farnham tee. So I haven't got around to making myself a Farnham sweater, but I did get around to making myself a tee. As soon as I saw Sophie was doing a tee version, I was like, well, that's going on my needles as soon as it comes out. So I did. I think I cast this on literally the fastest I've ever cast something on when it comes out. I knit mine in King Cole Finesse, which is a cotton and silk yarn, and it's really lovely. But if I'm wearing black trousers, my black trousers then just have loads of fluff on them afterwards, which is a bit strange. I don't know if that's the trouser fabric or the yarn, but it is a DK weight gauge, but it's quite a fairly open gauge, so I do find this quite warm. You're definitely not going to be wearing this on the warmest day of the year, but it's really nice for like spring days and stuff. I have actually worn this a lot. I find it such a great thing to wear if I'm going to yarny things, and I've got a lot of compliments on it as well, which is always quite nice. Number 15 is another gift, and that is the Asopo cardigan, I believe is how you say it. I actually knit this for my grandpa for his birthday, and he absolutely loved it. It just warms my heart. He wears it all the time when he sees me, and yeah, it's just so special. I actually test knit this for Sari Nordland, and it's one of the patterns in her new book, which is called Softly Timeless Knits, I think. I actually have the book because my name is in it. Because I test knit for her, which is just so cool. It's quite a simple drop shoulder cardigan with a beautiful shawl collar, but then it has these gorgeous cables down sleeves, and yeah, my grandpa loves it, and it was really enjoyable knit as well, because you just have like the plain body but then a bit of interest in the sleeves. The yarn I used was King Cole Forest Aran, I think it's called. Probably not the yarn that I would pick, but I had it in stash, so I wanted to use it up. Again, this yarn has this really weird, like, dry feeling. It's not my favourite, and I just remember so vividly that the last ball had so many knots in it. It was ridiculous. So I had to keep cutting the yarn, obviously, and I was on the ribbing as well, and you know, like, when it's really annoying to weave in ends in ribbing. So that wasn't great, but we got through. And I think I was kind of playing yarn chicken with this one too, and I'm not exaggerating. When I finished binding off the body, I had that much yarn left. So we made it, but it was close. Number 16, we have the, I may pronounce this wrong, so forgive me, but the Beaufort 5, which is by Isabel Kramer. This was for my nana for her birthday. I knit this with BC Garn BioBalance. Really love the yarn. I will definitely be using that yarn again. And it's in this really lovely blue colour, and it's just a really nice open cardigan with this really simple stitch texture all over, but then it has stockinette sleeves, so you get a bit of a break, which is really nice. And my nana absolutely loved it and wears it all the time in like the warmer months, because it's just perfect lightweight cardigan for that. Number 17 is a pair of socks for my auntie for her birthday. I used the, I don't know how you pronounce it, the Zauberballs by Schwab. You know the brand. They turned out super fun. They are like sisters, not twins, which I kind of love. And yeah, I'm really intrigued to knit myself a pair of socks with that yarn and kind of see how it holds up, because it was super fun to knit with all the colour changes. Number 18 was another pair of socks for my granny for her birthday. These were knit in Irish artisan yarns in this beautiful colourway. It's like it was like a muted rainbow. It was absolutely beautiful, and the yarn was just so lovely to work with. I absolutely love Tara's yarn, and will be definitely using it again. Number 19 is a summer knit. This was actually a test knit for Along avec Anna. This is the Lily top, and it is this super cute tank top with these super cute ties at the straps, and it also has a picot edge at the folded hem. I had never done a picot edge before, so this was a really fun new technique to do. And then the straps are double knit, and then you tie them as you want to. This may look ridiculously short, but I have an extremely short torso, so that is why. I knit this in the Along avec Anna merino again, actually in the exact same colour as the Rospico tee. So saying that, I really wish to make myself something in their yarn. I actually have. I forgot about this, if I'm honest. I mean, I haven't worn it this summer. It's not the most wearable thing for me in England. Like, I don't really know when it's the right temperature to wear a merino wool strappy top. So I do wish that I had used some kind of cotton yarn for this. I think it would be slightly more wearable. But as it was a test knit for Along avec Anna, you got like a discount for their yarn, and I really was intrigued to use it again because I enjoyed it so much in the Rospico too. Next up is another summer knit. This is the Tangent top. She is an absolutely lovely smaller designer, and I test knit this one for her and I just loved it as soon as I saw it. It is a fingering weight again tank top with these beautiful twisted rib details. I can't remember what this kind of construction is called, but you basically increase for the shoulders and then split and then work flat for the front and back. and then it has again the twisted rib detail around the side and down the side of the top as well, and then it has double knit finishings around the armholes. For this I used Holsgarn Coast. It's the first time I've ever used this yarn. It's a wool and cotton 50-50 blend, I believe, and I can regret my yarn choice for this. There's nothing wrong, with the yarn choice, I just do find this yarn a little bit prickly. So for something that you're gonna have to wear next to skin, it's not 100% ideal, and it is quite warm because of the wool content. But I really enjoyed this pattern, and I am actually considering knitting it again. If you're still with me, like, you are a trooper. Thank you so much. But next up we have another Farnham tee. This one is my mum's Farnham tee. I knit this in Stylecraft Naturals Bamboo DK, I think it's called, and this has stretched out a lot. You can probably like tell. I wish I'd chosen a smaller size, and I probably wouldn't use this yarn again for a project like this. I just feel like it hasn't done it justice. But it is a really, really lovely yarn to like work with, and it feels super like soft and nice, and it is like quite breathable too because it's like the bamboo and the cotton. But yeah, my mum still loves it, she still wears it, but I just think it would be more wearable if it wasn't so like stretched out and saggy and huge. Next up we have my Alder sweater by Rebecca Clow. Is that how you say it? This project was a project and a half, let me tell you. This is an all over stitch pattern. I guess it's kind of mosaic colour work, because like, I can't remember exactly how it was, but I think it's like two rounds in one colour and then do 2 rounds in the next colour, but you slip stitches. It's quite difficult to explain, but it creates this beautiful stitch pattern. I'm absolutely in love with it. The brown beige is Filcolana Panilla in the colour Chai, I believe, and then the navy blue, it's like this really, really deep navy, almost greeny navy, is a woolly knit sort of leftover cone I have, so I'm not quite sure the colour, but it's the woolly knits British wool 4-ply held double. I have a love-hate relationship with this sweater. I don't wear it. Sensory wise, I can't stand it, if I'm honest, which makes me so sad because I think it's such a beautiful design. I think, and you might be able to see in the try on clips, but I think it's because the sleeves are a bit too short. So I'm thinking of making them longer. Basically I wish I'd done a bigger size than I did, and I think my gauge was a bit off, so it's completely my bad. But the gauge was fine on the gauge swatch, okay, so don't come for me. But I love it. It's such a beautiful piece. I'm gonna see if making the sleeves longer will make it more wearable for me, but we will see. But because of like the slip stitches and the 2 colours, it is quite a dense fabric, but it's so beautiful. I'm literally sat here like, did I actually knit this? Just beautiful. Next up we have another knit for my mum, and that is the Sibling sweater by Laura Penrose. I'm in love with this sweater and I really want one. I just want everything that I knit for my mum. This again was a test knit for Laura, which is so exciting for me because I'd never test knit for her before. I knit this in, the pink is King Cole Homespun DK, and the white is an alpaca undyed, 100% alpaca. So this is super soft and drapey. It is gorgeous. It has a split hem at the bottom, and again the proportions of this are just so perfect, with like the ribbing on the sleeves, the oversizedness of the sleeves and the sweater. And then obviously like the star of the show is this back increase shaping where it goes into the sleeves and everything like that. It's so satisfying. And the neck is just super chunky and cozy. My mum again wears this. She has a hard time deciding which one she's gonna wear because she just loves them all, which just brings me so much joy. But yeah, this really was such a joy to knit and so amazing to test knit for Laura. Oh, are we nearly there yet? Next up is another one for me, and that is the Cove sweater for the Knit Pearl Girl. For the Knit Pearl Girl. By the Knit Pearl Girl. This is a beautiful drop shoulder 2x2 rib sweater. It has this gorgeous back detail again, which is my favourite. I love knitting it, I love how it looks, I just think it looks gorgeous. It has all 2x2 rib details. I absolutely love these like thick increase lines, and then it has this gorgeous detail on the sleeve as well, shaping, which is just so lovely. It has some shorter shaping at the bottom, so it goes up, it goes like high-low at the back. The yarn that I used for this was actually the same yarn I used for the Sibling sweater. The white was the same because I bought like a 500g cone, so I had enough to knit a whole nother sweater for me in it, which is amazing. And then I held that with a hand-dyed mohair from the Knitting Shed. I got it from the Knitting Shed at Unravel, and I think it has just created the most gorgeous mild sweater. I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't love about this sweater is the neckline. I did a pearl row as the pattern instructed on the collar, which I'd never done before, and I hate it. I think I'm going to undo the neckline, rip it back, take out that pearl row and then re-knit it back. I just hate how it looks. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. That's on my list for this autumn winter. But this is so soft and cozy. But again, it is mohair, so I'm like holding it up to you, I'm like, it's a bit scratchy. Next up we have another test knit for Laura. This is the Maxine water bottle cover by Laura Penrose. And yeah, I was lucky enough to test knit this for Laura, which was so exciting. I knit this in, the white is Woolly Knit Wharf Mill DK, and then all of these minis are from the Grey Sheep company, and I believe they're her Hampshire 4-ply held double. They're really, really lovely to work with. They are perfect for colour work, and this colour palette is just gorgeous. I'm so pleased with it, how it turned out. I love it so much. I decided to do 2x2 rib for the top cuff, and yeah, I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I will definitely be making more this year. By the way, I'm really sorry if the lighting isn't ideal. The sun just has decided to come in the room and it's not really looking that great, to be honest. I think all the rest I don't have with me. So next up we have the Arched Gusset Mittens by Pearl Soho. I knit these in Rico cashmere sock again, held with drops kid silk mohair, and they were so soft and fluffy. I wish I could have kept them for myself. Honestly, I loved them. I knit a 2x2 ribbed hat. I didn't really use a pattern for this. I loosely used the hat pattern by Maker, I think. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I think I used the decreases from that. But I used a commercial sock yarn held double for that, I think. But I can't remember. Opal. It was an opal sock yarn, I believe, in this really lovely forest green. I then knit the Stella quilt cushion by Laura Penrose. I knit this for my nana for Christmas, and she absolutely loves it. It turned out massive though. But I don't know if my gauge was a bit off or that's the size it was supposed to turn out, but it's huge. I actually used the leftovers from my Dornie sweater and did a 2-colour one, and my nana loved it. It was such a joy to knit. I'm dying to knit one for myself for my bedroom. I think it's just going to be gorgeous. I'm thinking of doing a pink and white boucle one. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Then number 30, we have the camee cardigan. Who is this by? I just can't remember. I knit this one for my granny for Christmas, and I used a undyed sock yarn, which I had a cone of in stash, so I used that, and then I can't find the label, but this is the swatch. So this is what it looked like. So I used a lace weight, I think it was like BFL and silk, in this really lovely purple colour with it, and it kind of created this beautiful marl. And yeah, this pattern was so lovely to knit. It has that little bit of interest with the lace going down the front, and I just thought this was so perfect for my granny. She absolutely loved it, and it looks gorgeous on her as well. And then finally, I've put this one last. This wasn't the last thing I made, but the final thing, number 31, was a shawl. I sample knit this shawl. It's called the Sein. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. By Woolen Berry, and it is a gorgeous like half and half. There's like a garter stripe and then a really lovely lace section, and yeah, it just turned out so gorgeous. I knit it in her 4-ply sock base in the colourway Wild Garlic. Yeah, she was really pleased with it, and I had such joy making it for her. So yeah, that was my first like entry into sample knitting, and I have been doing more sample knitting this year too. So yeah, I'm just super excited about. Something I've really wanted to get into. So yeah, that was really exciting. And I think we've just about made it through everything that I knit in 2023. If you're still here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope to be back soon with a podcast to catch you up on what I've been making recently, and I don't think I have much more to say, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the best day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye!